Hello, Coach Cameron Roberts here. Thank you very much for clicking through. Today we're going to be talking about the 8 personal qualities needed to run a very successful business in any economic climate. So stick around. Thanks again for clicking through. Listen, today's episode of On Deck with Coach Cameron is about the 8 personal qualities needed to run a very successful business in any economic environment. Now, before we go on, if you're a fan of social media, if you're on Facebook or Google+, please search out for me and do a search for Coach Cameron Roberts. Connect with me on your social media channel, your favourite social media channel. I'd love to connect with you there. And if you're on Twitter, you can look for @Coach Cameron Roberts. I'd love to connect with you on @Coach Cameron Roberts, and just search for the hashtags On Deck with Coach Cameron to watch our episodes of our podcast and Hangout program. Now, today's episode is titled, as I said, the 8 personal qualities for business success. And I've got a few notes here and I'm going to go through them if that's okay with you. But I want to start off with a story. The other Sunday, my family and I went swimming training, and we often go swimming training as a family. There are 2 young boys who are aged 8 and 10, and my wife and I, we head out to the local swimming centre, a local aquatic centre, and do some laps together. It's a great time together, and you know, we love to do that and keep active as a family. The other week we were doing our laps, and then after the laps we decided to go to a hotel for breakfast. Now, we typically do that once or twice a month because we like to kind of hang out and have a good breakfast and a cooked meal, you know, and put all the calories back on that we just burnt, right? But, you know, it's just something that we love doing as a family, and, you know, we love to hang out and do stuff like that together. But we're at this hotel having breakfast, a nice buffet cooked breakfast, you know, the whole bacon and eggs and hash browns and, you know, the whole lot. I actually felt guilty eating it because I was like, I've just done this, you know, session and now I'm putting all the calories back on. But hey, you know, you only live once, right? But anyway, we're sitting there at a hotel enjoying our buffet breakfast, and the kids love the buffet because they can pick anything they want. And outside of where we were eating was, well, there was a window, and outside the window was this beautiful pool of the hotel. And there was this dad doing his level best teaching his child how to swim. Now, he was trying to teach the child how to swim by doing kicking and breathing and arms, and he was holding the child up in the water so the child could stroke, turn its head, blow bubbles, and you know, the young girl was doing the best from what she was being told by her father, but her father didn't, you know to break down the stroke. Swimming, just like business, it needs to be reverse engineered. You need to break things down before you build them back up again. And so what we find is, not only in sport but in business, that if you break stuff down, if you break things into little chunks, they're actually more manageable and you can achieve a better outcome. So for instance, the father, what he should have taught his child, his daughter, was to do some streamlining, and then once she's mastered streamlining, was to try streamlining with kicking, and then once she's mastered streamlining with kicking, then try the next step, and it could have been arms, it could have been bubbles, you know, just one step at a time, master one area of at a time to be successful, right? In swimming, well, it's the same in your business. So what I've got today is 8 personal qualities to help you break down your business. So if you actually look at what you do each week in your business, if you're not satisfied with the outcome that you're not getting enough customers, you're not getting enough traffic, these personal qualities, if you like, if you break them down into small chunks and you look at these 8 different areas of your life and how you show up in your business, if you can improve on one of these areas at a time, you'll have, you know, incremental improvements in your business. So that's the idea. You know, these 8 qualities aren't for you to go away and trying to improve all 8 all at once, like the father teaching his child how to swim all at once, right? It's for you to break down each one and go, okay, well, if I work in that one area, what sort of outcome, what's the return on my investment, if you like, with my time and energy in that one area, and how's that going to impact my business? How's it going to impact my sales, improve my profitability, get me more customers, more traffic, whatever it is that you want to achieve this year in your business. So let's jump into it and let's get going. I've made a few notes and I'm going to go over them as we go along. Now, the number one personal quality that I believe that you need in business is that you must know what you want. You know, I find too many business owners, they don't know what they want, and in fact they're working too hard on their business. You know, if you're working too hard on your business every day, if you're putting in the 60 to 80 hours a week working on your business, well, you'll never know what you want to know, because, you know, you don't know what you want to know, you don't know what it is that you know, because you're just, you know, too busy turning the wheels. You're turning all the cogs, you're the hamster in the wheel that's turning over and over. So, you know, take some time out from your busy workload, take some time out from your busy lifestyle and ask yourself, what is it that I really want in my business? What is it that I really want? What do I want now? You know, what do you really want to do in your business over the next 3 months? What is it that you really want to do in the next 6 months? What is it that you really want to be, do and have in the next 12 months? Once you know what you want, you can start accelerating your outcome. You get a different result. You know, what you need to do is understand that once you know what you want, you can be clearer about where it is that you and your business are heading. Another story comes to mind. This morning I was actually buying a new computer from a local retail environment. It's actually a big store. And I came across a very sad salesperson. Now, he wasn't the salesperson who was selling me. I was buying off someone else, but one of the other sales guys in the store came over. His shoulders were slumped. He was quite, you know, lethargic in his energy. You could tell he was just down. And I said, hey, mate, what's the matter? And he was telling me, you know, times have been tough. I'm not selling as much as I used to do. And I said, well, what is it that you want? And he said, well, I want to come to work to make friends. And you see, that's what he was doing. He was coming to work to make friends. But there's a disconnect there because he's not making enough money. So because he's not making enough money, he's upset with himself and he's feeling down because he's not making enough money. And yet what he thinks he wants is to make friends and have a good time at work. Well, he's already doing that. He's making lots of friends and he's helping people, but he's not making enough money. You know, I bet if he made an extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month in commissions, or $2,000 or $3,000 a month in commissions a week maybe, whatever it is that he, you know, gets paid a week or a month in commissions. I bet if he got paid that extra, if he actually earned that extra, he'd change his physiology, he'd change his demeanour. You know, it would change instantly because he was making more money. But, you know, on a conscious level, he goes around telling people that he goes to work to make friends. See, he doesn't know what he wants. And maybe that's true in your business. Maybe it's time for you to take stock and pull back and ask yourself, what is it that I really want out of my business? The numbers, what do you want to be, what do you want to do, and what do you want to have in your business over the next 3, 6, or 12 months. Now, the second personal quality that you need to have is that you need to have the ability to focus. Now, this is critical in a hyper-competitive marketplace. You know, every single day, that, as a business owner even, and an entrepreneur, you are bombarded with literally hundreds and thousands of messages, you know, about what to buy or where your attention flows, you know, emailing, text messages, phone calls, correspondence with other people, talking to other people in your office. Not a day goes by where your attention span isn't being, you know, pulled in one direction or another. So your ability to focus is actually a personal attribute or a personal quality that you need to dominate in a hyper-competitive marketplace. Now, focus is one of these funny things that the more of it you do, the better you get at it. You know, some people say to me, but I can't focus, I'm not motivated. Coach Cameron, how do you focus? How do you get better at focusing? Well, it's like, how do you get better at lifting weights? How do you get better at running for a marathon? How do you get better at studying? How do you get better at talking to people on the phone? How do you get better at cold calling? How do you get better at copywriting? How do you get better at marketing, at sales, at whatever it is that you do? Well, obviously you know the answer. The answer is practice. You've got to practice. So focus is no different. You need to practice focus, and you need to practice, focusing when someone's talking to you. So when someone's talking to you in your business, in a selling environment, actually focus then. Really focus on what it is the prospect or the customer is saying to you. That's, you focusing. That's you having that opportunity where you can focus, and you should be focusing on, when your staff are talking to you, really focusing on what they are saying so that you can completely understand them. And of course, you need to focus in on your own day. At the start of each day, I like to plan out what I'm going to do and what I'm going to get done. So regardless of the distractions that come my way, I can make sure that I get done exactly what it is that I want to get done, because at the start of the day I've set a plan and I'm going to focus on that plan, so by the end of the day I'll have the right outcomes. So make sure you increase your ability to focus. Now, the third personal attribute, or the third quality that you need, is you need to be determined the price you'll pay. Now, what I mean by that is not the price that you sell your products and services for, but what price are you prepared to pay for you to achieve your goals? What price are you prepared to pay for you to be successful in your business? Now, what I mean by this, I often say to people, what are you prepared to give up to go up? So if you want to go up in your business, if you want to go up in life, if you want to lose, 10 kilos, what have you got to do? What have you got to give up to go up? You might have to give up social media to make an extra 100 grand this year, you see. You might have to give up some of your bad habits of arriving to work late or staying up late or whatever it is, or having long lunches, for you to make an extra 20, 50, 100, 200 grand this year, whatever it is for you. What are you prepared to give up to go up? What price are you willing to pay for you to be successful? Now, the next one on the item here is be responsible and take ownership. So be responsible for your actions. Be responsible for your inactions. Be responsible for your business and take ownership of everything. So think about the sales and marketing systems that you have or maybe don't have in your business. How are you going to take responsibility for your business? How are you going to take responsibility for your actions? If it's meant to be, it's up to you. You can get done whatever it is that you need to get done if you're responsible and you take ownership and realise that you can achieve your goals this year, this month, this week, right now, if you become responsible and you take ownership of those goals and you say, you know what, these are my goals, there's no one else that can impact these goals like I can, these are mine, I'm going to own them, I'm going to live and breathe them every single day, and I'm going to get the results that I deserve by the energy and effort that I put in. So you need to take ownership over your business, over your life, and over your goals, right? Now the next one is to stay committed, especially in tough times. Tough times will come. It's a fact of life. We live in a world that has seasons. Summer, autumn, winter, spring. Your business has seasons. The economy has seasons. The relationships that you have with other people have seasons. Sometimes you have a great relationship with your partner, your loved one, your significant other. And then other times it feels like winter, right? We all go through those seasons. It's not uncommon. Your business is the same. The money cycles are the same. The governments are the same. Sometimes countries have wonderful governments and sometimes not so wonderful governments, right? They're just in different seasons. So when your business is going through a season, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to stay committed. When it's winter, you want to stay committed in the winter time. Don't give up in the winter time. Stay committed in the winter season. Stay committed in the summer season. When everyone's playing and having a great time, stay committed then to your business regardless of the season that it's in. Make sure that you stay committed and that you'll get the results that you want in your business and your life. Now, number 6 is to go the extra mile, or to go the extra kilometre, whichever way you measure distance. But you know what I mean, right? And I don't just mean going the extra mile in your own life, in your own business, but how can you go the extra mile for other people? How can you go the extra mile in solving problems for other people? So, what can you do in your business, in your life, to go the extra mile? Now, only you'll know what that is, but, I reckon that you're probably operating at about 50%, even at best. I find that most people, when they come to me for coaching and mentoring, they're really only chugging along at 30 to 40%. Most people, you can get them to lift 20 or 30%, no problems whatsoever. And very, very few of us are operating at 80 or 90% of our potential capabilities. Most of us, if you were honest, would be lucky to be operating at 5%, right? So what are you going to do to make sure that you're going the extra mile and raising up to another level in your life so that your business, your sales career has a better outcome and you're achieving those financial goals that you set yourself at the start of the year? Now, number 7 is manage yourself around time. Now, one of my pet peeves, if you like, is time management programs. Now, I help people manage time, but we don't call it a time management program. The problem with time management is that you can't actually manage time. All you can do is manage yourself around time. So the 7th personal quality for business success that I've got here is to manage yourself around time. What have you got to do with your schedule? I said earlier on in this session today, I talked about how at the start of the day, I plan out my day, I write down what it is that I want to achieve, I get a pen and a paper, I make some notes, and what is it exactly that I want to achieve today to get the right results. So at the end of the day, when my 8 hours of work have been completed, I can look back and maybe I've only achieved 80% of the things that I wanted to get done. Well, that's okay too. But if I didn't manage myself around time, if I got busy or got distracted or phone calls came in, or people grabbed my attention, well then maybe I would have only got 30% of that done. So you've got to manage yourself around time. It's not time management, it's self-management. You've got to manage yourself around time and make sure you're optimizing your time carefully. Now, in this day and age, there's many great pieces of software that you can use. I've got a couple on mine. I think one of them's called Toggle and things like that. You can put on your computer, and as you're working, it will track how much time you're spending on each task. That's a great way to manage and track, because if you can track something and you can measure it, you can improve it. So you can start doing the same task again and you can get quicker at those same tasks. So make sure you measure what you do with your time, that way that you can improve upon it. You with me? So it's really important. Now, the 8th and final one is to make sure that you're competitive. So the 8th and final personal quality you need to be successful in your business is to be competitive. And I don't mean just on price, because you can't always be competitive on price in your business. You can't always be competitive. There'll always be someone that will undercut you. There will always be someone that wants to, do a better deal for a prospect or drive their prices down. There'll always be someone like that. But how can you be competitive on service? How can you be competitive on after-sales service? How can you be competitive on, your guarantees? How can you be competitive on empathy? And how can you be competitive on solving problems more efficiently, more quickly for your prospects, customers and raving fans? How can you be more competitive on social media? How can you be more competitive with the messages that you put out into the marketplace? How can you be more competitive online with your website and things like that? So, it's not always about price. Price is only one factor that will determine how many people buy your products and services. There are many other ways for you to be competitive besides price. Well, there's my 8 personal qualities that you need to be successful in business as a business owner or an entrepreneur or a salesperson. I trust they've been helpful. If you want to find more of our episodes, just search for hashtag On Deck with Coach Cameron. You can search for them on Twitter, on Facebook and on Google+, and also YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up or a comment. That'd be great. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search for Coach Cameron Roberts. Well, this is Coach Cameron signing out. Until next time, all the best with your success. I'll talk to you really soon.